Welcome to another episode of Find Your Friends with Island Jason. I'm just arrived at the site where I'm going to go in and spend the night in my shelter. Rain's given up a little bit. I gotta say I'm a little bit nervous. I don't usually do things like this. I usually come fully prepared. I do not. The original plan was to spend the night with one item only, that being a ferro rod. It's March 25th. It's just the tail end of an atmospheric river, so the area is very saturated and wet. So I've elected to not just bring a ferro rod. I'm going to bring my knife and my water bottle. And because the reason that is because I'm gonna need to have some tea or something, some way to heat some water, purify some water. I did bring 1 liter of water also, so that is what I'm gonna do. I brought some first aid supplies, some filming supplies. I did bring some lights for filming it in the dark. However, I won't be using them for finding firewood and whatnot. Oh, I do have a headlamp too, in case I have to make an emergency evacuation out during the dark. It's approximately 315 meters due south from where I'm sitting right now to where my owl camp is that I constructed yesterday. So I'm gonna get in there. Yesterday I took a trail, not a trail, but a separate route that was kind of directly along the ridge. Today I'm going to go straight down the main trail to the river, and I'm going to try and construct a trap to catch some crayfish. Hopefully get something to eat for tonight. So I'm gonna go straight down there first, get that in the water, maybe find something to bait it with along the way. I don't know what I'll use, but and we'll see if that works out. And then after I'm done constructing the crayfish trap, I will make my way through a new route using GPS to find it. I kind of have an idea where it is anyways, but I'll be doing that, and then I will get back to my camp and continue constructing my camp. So hopefully you can tag along. This is going to be a multi-part series from here on up, probably 2 or 3 or 4 more videos. I don't know how long. There's going to be a lot of footage in here. I'm recording this at 1080p at 30 frames per second to try and save as much of my battery and memory card as possible. So thanks for, okay, I got a break. The rain has stopped falling for temporarily, I hope, or permanently maybe, but irregardless is not a word, but I'm going to use it anyways. I'm going to head right down to the river. I didn't even have to put my rain gear on, so bonus for Jason. Good way to start off. This looks like a good spot to try and catch some of those little freshwater lobsters we call crayfish. So my idea is to build a trap, and I'm going to try to utilize sword ferns and do like a weave. So I'm going to strip these sword ferns and make a weave for my trap. So I'm going to go collect some sword ferns and come back and sit down here and craft a trap. I've never tried that before and looking forward to it. Gonna need a fairly big pile of them because they're kind of skimpy right now, but it won't take long to get quite a few. And who knows, I might even find some mushrooms or something while I'm doing this, digging around at the base here. Like I said, it won't take me very long, but I'm gonna need quite a bit. Not really sure how many of these I'm gonna actually need. So next step is just to strip the leaves off them and make a pile of pieces, I guess, to weave through. Doesn't take very much. Hopefully this works. Watch these survivor shows and like Alone or whatnot. I want to keep them all oriented the same way too. watch these survivor shows and you see guys investing so much energy into useless projects, and this could be very likely one of them. I don't know. I've never even tried to build this before. Probably something you should at least have some experience with. But we'll give it a shot and see if we can make it work. I don't even know if there's crayfish in here. I remember as a young man fishing in this river for steelhead, if you'd catch one, or for salmon or whatever, if you'd catch one and you'd catch it and clean it and then just put it in the rocks in the water while you continued fishing, sometimes there'd be crayfish that would crawl right inside your salmon belly. And so that's what makes me believe that, especially with this little muddy spot right here where I found, might be a good spot to try. You can see I'm quickly making a pile here of cut limbs. How many do I got here? That's not one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So David Canterbury, he made a video about doing this. However, it's not in this type of area whatsoever. Totally different plants, totally different materials, totally different river, and totally different crayfish. But the idea remains the same. So he suggested to use an odd number, and I've been sort of thinking about that, and I can't really figure out the logic behind that. That being said, no sense in trying to reinvent the wheel. If that's an actual thing, I'm going to start off with the best advantage I have. So I'm going to try this, and I'll let you see how it comes out after I get it started a bit. Really trying to save film here and battery. But yeah, got the materials all done up. So we got the sword fern stripped, and we have 9 spears, ridges, or I don't know what you call it, frame. I'll show you how. Oh, and I found some cordage too, some natural cordage, some twine, and some nettle to help tie things up. So we'll try and get this going here. I'll turn the camera back on after I kind of get it figured out how I'm going to do it. Beautiful thing is it's not raining, so that's a real bonus, because I started to sweat a little bit when I was collecting those ferns, and it's not something you want to do. So I'm basically determining the diameter of the opening of the trap down below here by pushing these sticks in. So essentially I'm just jamming into the sand to hold them in place. Oh, there's a rock right there. That was a shitty idea. Okay. And you just kind of can separate them. So that's going to be the diameter, which is approximately an 8-inch circle. And see, this is where I don't understand why you'd want an odd number, because I've got a nice little circle here now. Okay. Let's see how that looks. And you see that's basically what I'm trying to achieve. Now I'll just weave my ferns all the way through and around and up, and then kind of form it into a cone as it gets tighter at the top. So I don't know, we'll see if this works. I've never done it before. Here's the progress. Turns out this is actually quite a bit of work, and I stopped using the ferns because they're just breaking. I went and harvested some nettles, and they're pretty good. It'll work, but it's just really slow. So I don't know if this is a waste of a resource. It is. I've already been working on this for an hour, and I've got about 4 inches of trap created. So, oh well, it's keeping me busy, and it's not raining, so gives the bush a chance to dry out while I mess around down here before I have to walk back into my camp. Closer you get to the top, the harder it gets to weave them through, because the space to get your fingers in is, of course, shrinking with every piece you put in, tying each one off so it's not just flopping. It's pretty easy. Like I said, I've never tried this before. So if you're watching this and you've got some sort of, ooh, that's still got prickles on. You got some sort of suggestion that could make this a little bit better or easier. Pull all those prickles off first. If you got some suggestions, I don't know. I don't even know if this is gonna work. I've never tried to basket weave or do any of this stuff, so this is all foreign to me. I'm just doing what I instinctually feel is the right thing to do, which is to try and find some food, some protein. I didn't see a lot of, I'm not really up on my edible plants, so this is a good opportunity for me to realize some of the weaknesses in my game out here by actually doing projects like this. And you know, I got 24 hours out here to kind of play around and figure things out. So one thing when I was harvesting these nettles down the way a little bit, I walked down the trail and I found a great big fir tree that's all slabbed right up. So I'm thinking I might just have a shelter down here by the river rather than using the one I made yesterday. 2 reasons. One, if I go all the way back up to that shelter, I set this trap, I go all the way back up to that shelter, then I'm going to have to come all the way back down here and get this trap, check this trap when it's, you know, been a while or whatever. I don't even know how long you'd leave this soak for. I don't think this is something you're going to get food. I don't know. Could be wrong. They could just jump right in it. I don't even know what I'm going to use for bait yet. So it's kind of one of those things. But it's definitely an interesting project, and it is coming together. So I'm quite happy with that part. But it's definitely bushcrafty. I already understand why he's saying you need the odd number of branches, because otherwise you end up just repeating over the course over top of itself, around and around. Every time you go around, you get a opposite layer of a wrap if you do it right. That was a 3-hour time investment that I probably will never get back. I'm not really sure how this thing's going to work, but it's done. There it is. You know, it's magnificence. Might have to fill a couple more of the holes at the bottom. It's just kind of a hodgepodge. I've like I said, I've never tried to do anything like that before. So now I got to figure out something for bait. Maybe I'll dig up a log or something. I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll be in there. I'll have it in the water in no time. I need to put it in the water if I want to catch something to eat. It's already 11 o'clock, so 11:30, I guess. Okay, there we go. See if we can get this thing out of here now. I'm worried it's just gonna all fall apart when I pull it out. Wow. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna have to, now what I do is I build a ramp going inside so that they go in and they can't get back out. But I think I'm gonna have to put a few more twigs at the bottom here to seal that off a bit better. But yeah, that's where she's at. And these are the ferns at the top here, so I'm gonna have to I might even just remove some of those. But yeah, making progress. Ever seen anything like this before? I haven't. Okay, I got my trap ready. I'm gonna deploy it down here, and let's hope for the best. A little slippery, but it's got some sort of muddy, shitty bottom. So this is kind of what I want to find here. Ooh, let's put this down. I've found an earthworm I stuck in there. Rose hips aren't looking that healthy. Okay, let's get this thing in here. I gotta be careful I don't drop my camera in the river. I'm just gonna try and stick it right in here. Okay. I don't even see my worm in there anymore. I hope it didn't fall. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so I got an earthworm in there. And we'll try and get this in the water a bit. Here. You want it to be facing the right way up. Let's try that. It's tipping over. Let's try that. Okay, let's try that. I'll just tie it. Oh, whoa, I just about lost my camera. Okay. Just tie this off up here. All right. Got that tied off there. That's sitting in the water. Just can't really see it.